Think about the last time someone asked how you were doing. You answered without thinking. You always do. Somewhere along the way, you didn't just wear a mask. You moved inside it, set up furniture, started calling it home. And the most terrifying part? Nobody forced you. You built it yourself, brick by brick, smile by smile. It started small. A child learns very early that the world responds to certain versions of them. Be agreeable, get love. Be strong, earn respect. Be quiet, avoid the storm. No one sits you down and teaches you this. You just feel it. The way a plant bends toward the window, without knowing why. You bent toward whatever kept you safe. So you built a version of yourself that worked, that got approval, that moved through the world without too much friction. And you were good at it. Here's what no one tells you, though. The mask was never a betrayal. It was architecture. Built under pressure, from the only materials you had. It wasn't weakness. It was intelligence. A child's intelligence. Survival dressed up as personality. The tragedy isn't that you wore it. The tragedy is what happened next. There's no single moment where the mask wins. It happens the way a river reshapes stone. Slowly, without announcement. You start making decisions as the mask. You choose careers the mask can survive in. You enter relationships the mask can manage. You have conversations the mask has rehearsed. And life starts to look right. From the outside, everything adds up. But inside, there's this low hum, a frequency just beneath the surface. The feeling that something important is missing, but you can't name it. Because you've forgotten what you were before you became so good at being this. Most people never notice it happening. That's what makes it so complete. The people around you love you, but often, they only know the version you learned to perform, not because they're shallow, but because the performance is all you showed them. You stopped looking for what was underneath, so they never knew to look either. And then one day, the mask just feels heavy. Not like a breakdown, not like the movies, more like standing in a room you've lived in for years, and suddenly noticing how little of it you chose. Maybe it's after an achievement that doesn't land the way it should. Maybe it's in the middle of a conversation where someone laughs at something you said, and you watch yourself from the outside, thinking, who is that person? That moment, that strange quiet wrongness, is the crack. Not a breakdown, not a revelation, just light. Coming through. If you strip away every role you carry, every title, every expectation, every version of you that exists for someone else's comfort, what's actually left? Most people find that question terrifying. That terror is worth sitting with. Because the terror means something real is in there. Something that hasn't been performed yet. Here's what the self-help world gets wrong. They tell you to remove the mask. As if it's simple. As if the mask isn't woven into your nervous system by now. But you can't destroy what kept you alive. What you can do, maybe the only thing worth doing, is become conscious inside it. To catch the moment you slip it on. To notice the weight. To ask quietly without judgment, is this me? Or is this the version of me that learned to survive? The mask was never the enemy. The forgetting was. And the moment you remember, even for a second, that there is something underneath it, that's not the end of the mask. That's just the beginning of you.